What's going on, guys? Hope you're all doing well. Today I was out hunting around in different Walmarts looking for new Mattel Jurassic World figures, and I came across the brand new Dual Attack Pteranodon. Very awesome. And then that got me thinking, this is another Pteranodon in my collection. I'm running out of space as it is. If you're like me, you have a lot of stuff. And I started thinking, you know what? I'm going to put a video together showing everybody how I go about displaying my Pteranodon collection. And if Mattel is good at one thing, it's making Pteranodon figures. There are a lot of flyers, and they don't display really well on shelves because they just are in a laying position and they have huge wings, you know. So that got me thinking I'm going to throw a video together showing you guys a couple of different ways that you can go about displaying these. Now, there is one that I've seen a lot of people do. They hang these from the ceiling, and that might work for some of you, but I'm a tall guy and I have really low ceilings in my collection room. Plus, I also use my Pteranodons a lot for photography, so tying them to the ceiling and trying to get them off just doesn't work for me, so I had to come up with a new solution. So a couple of the steps that I'm going to show you in this video may be common knowledge. Some of you may already do this, or you may know about it, and that's really awesome. But for those of you who don't know this, or you just need a little inspiration, this video is for you. So I'm going to go ahead and get some of the supplies out, and I will show you two of the different ways that you can display these Pteranodon figures. Okay, so the first route that you could go is grabbing yourself some of these NECA dynamic figure stands. I found these at Target. These are really, really cool for displaying the Pteranodons on because they come with these handy little clips on the rod right here. The only problem is these are $10 a pop. So now if you've got a bunch of Pteranodons, you're talking, you know, a serious chunk of change to buy a lot of these to display them. I like it. It's really, really cool. It comes with this nice flat, translucent, clear plastic base. So you can put the Pteranodon on it and it won't fall forward or anything like that. It does have the adjustable height like this. So you can, you know, get it to be nice and tall or short. You can also expand or extend to this joint right here, and you can get it sticking straight up tall, you know, and it has this little clip that can clamp onto the Pteranodon. It's a very cool base. Another really great thing about it is it does come with an alternative stand here that has suction cups on it. So if your collection room is, say, in a bedroom and it has a window, you can stick the suction cup right there on the window. You get a really cool dynamic way to display the Pteranodon. So that's one alternative to displaying the Pteranodons using the NECA figure stands. I'm pretty sure that NECA is not the only company that makes them. I'm just not aware of any other companies. I don't collect any action figure, you know, Marvel or Star Wars, so I'm not really too familiar with this type of dynamic stand. I saw them in Target, thought they're cool, so I grabbed a couple. Like I said, they're really cool. They're very neat and professional looking, but then again, they're not very economical in terms of making or buying several of them to display, you know, 10 Pteranodons or whatever. So definitely worth picking up a couple maybe to have your big ones on, but not an economical way to go, especially if you're a younger kid. But the next step that I'm going to show you is actually a more economical way of doing this, and it involves being a little crafty and being able to have some time to sit down and make a few, and we'll go over that one next. All right, so we'll move on to the second style of base that you can make, and this one is one like I said, you can make yourself at home using stuff that you can get at Walmart. You want to get a box, like a 1 pound box of the Sculpey oven baked clay. This is about $5 or $6 at Walmart, and it comes with 5 slats of clay in here. Each little sheet of clay, I like to use 1 sheet per base, so you can get about 5 bases made out of this box of clay. And you want to take the clay out and mold it into a bowl. And then once you get it, you know, all put together, that's where you want to start kind of forming your base into the shape that you want it. So I like to kind of do an oval shape. Press the sides down, you know. You can kind of be creative here. You really can do kind of any shape that you want, but I like to keep the center relatively thick and keep the sides nice and flat, kind of like a little hill. So once you get it to the position, you know, the desired shape that you want, Then what you're going to want to do is you want to go out in your yard or whatever and get a rock. Everybody has rocks everywhere, so you know those are readily available, or a little ball of tin foil. Just you want to texturize the clay. So now I like to use volcano rock. This is something that people use for landscaping, but it's got really nice holes in it, and it really gives the impression that there's dirt and rocks on it. Let me zoom in so you can see. You can see here, pressing in all around it, pushing down, and you get really awesome looking texture on that clay. And it's going to take paint really well. It's going to, when you do some dry brushing on it, it'll make it look really cool. The white is kind of hard to see on camera, but hopefully you get the idea. You just want to give it a little detail on it. Make sure you get all the little sides. And now the sky's the limit with how creative you can be with your bases. But this is basically the most easiest route to go, and you can use any kind of rock. You don't really have to use this rock. I just like it because it has those little tiny holes all in it, and it just gives the illusion that there's pebbles and sand and rocks and stuff. So then you want to go out in your yard again and find some different size rocks. Zoom out so you can see. So I have just an assortment of different types of rocks here from my yard, and you can find some nice small ones. And what you want to do is you want to leave the center, you know, you want to make sure there's nothing smack dab in the center, because that's where your pole is going to go for your flyer to mount on. But what you want to do is take the rocks and just kind of push them in to the clay and just kind of be random. You can use big rocks if you want. If you want to go, you know, all out, push them all the way down in. All the way around. Just kind of make a design. Oh, it might be too big. So those are too big. So we'll just do these ones for right now. All right, and so once you are at this stage, then what you want to do is, let me zoom back out. So Walmart has, in the hardware section where the picture hangers are, they sell a spool of metal wire. Now this is very easily bendable wire. And what you want to do is get your wire, and then now this is for if you don't have a drill. So if you're a young kid and you don't have a drill, you just want to be able to do this on your own. You want to take your metal wire and just stick it smack dab in the center and then pull it out. All right. And now you want to take your base and you want to bake everything, the clay and the rocks together. You want to bake it all in the oven at, let's see, I think it says 275 for 15 minutes. So follow the directions on the package of clay that you're using, but that's usually what I'll do, pop it in the oven. When I'm doing this, normally I didn't use it in the video because it's super reflective, but I do it on a piece of tin foil. That way you can just take it and slide it right onto a baking tray, pop it in the oven and bake it. So once it's baked, you can then let it cool, and then you can paint it, you know, whatever color you want. That's where you also get to be really creative. When it's done, it'll look something like this. So this is mine that I painted, just a brown base, and then I did a dry brushing of flat earth brown on top, just a lighter brown color. And then I painted the rocks pavement gray first, and then I dry brushed over them with a lighter color gray just to make them look like they're granite. Okay, so that's pretty much the easy part right there. If you wanted to go an extra step and you wanted to be able to mass produce your base, what you're going to want to do is get some cornstarch and some all-purpose silicone, and you want to make some proto putty. Now once this is hardened and is cooled, you can then make a mold of your base like I did with this one here, and you can cast it using the resin that I usually use to make my parts with. So this one is actually a resin cast of one that I made, and so now I can take this mold and I can make multiple bases, and I don't have to sit here and mold clay all day long making bases. But if you want your bases to be, you know, all unique, then, you know, you can make several different kinds this way. This is just an extra step that you can take, you know, to maybe expedite this process a little bit, and that way you can just keep pouring bases all day long, and you don't have to mold clay and bake it, anything like that. Now the design, you know, like I said, this is totally up to you. You can do whatever you want. I'll show you one that I did here. This is a lava base. So this was kind of like a Fallen Kingdom vibe, right? So we got lava down in here with some bubbles and some slat rock that look like kind of lava, like black lava rock. And this got a little gloss coat on it just to kind of make it look wet. This was done the same exact way, just lining the rocks all around the side, and I left some room for the lava flow in there, and I used little beads, Mardi Gras beads actually, as the bubbles, and I pushed them in there to where I want in the lava stream, and then bake it all in the oven. And then I made a mold of this one, and I'm able to cast multiple copies of this lava base, so I can have kind of like a Fallen Kingdom vibe lava base for the Pteranodons to mount on. And then I just put my stand in there, and then you can put your flyer on it. Once everything is all put together here, you have your finished base with your wire attached to it. And this is great too because you can cut this down to size. If you want your flyer to be, you know, flying at a low level or up really high, you can adjust them all on the shelf so they all fit together nicely in a little area. And then once you get this, then you can just kind of customize the little loop on top to house the Pteranodon or whatever that you want to fly. This one is actually intended for a bigger one, but as an example here, you can just put it on there. You can make the loop smaller if you want to conceal it a little bit better, but that gets it up off the ground and just kind of makes it look really cool flying up in the air. The wires are just great because you can take these outside, you can do photography, and what I really like about using the wire as opposed to the NECA stand is I can actually go in, post, and edit all of this wire out so you can't see it, so it gives it the illusion that it's flying in the air, like in this picture right here that I did. And so I can just take that image out digitally and make it look really cool. So I'll bring in another one over here. This is the Tapejara, whatever it's called. But he's on a little stand, and you can bend that wire to make it, you know, kind of in any kind of position that you want. We'll bring in another one here for an example. So here's another base and a pole. And if we wanted to mount the new Pteranodon on here, we can do that. So the wire is strong enough to hold up, you know, the bigger Pteranodons too, but it also, you know, can hold up the little tiny ones. So it works really well for all of them, even the ones with the electronic roar one. So it's a really great way to display the Pteranodons. Well, alright guys, so here are the flyers all on their bases and looking sharp here in the Jurassic World aviary. I hope this video has helped inspire you to get out there, grab some supplies, be creative, but most importantly, have fun making some seriously awesome custom bases for your flyers. For more Jurassic Park related content, you guys know where to find me. Links will be in the description box below. You guys take care, and I'll see you in the next video.